Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Game Plan. My name is Gareth Soloway, Chief Market Strategist here, and today's a Monday, and we have lots to discuss. So we have China stocks, again, moving to the upside. I've got some big shorts, key trades that even I have taken. I'll reveal those to you in just a little bit. In addition, we got to talk about what the markets are doing. Futures are down this morning, maybe not so much on the Middle East, but more so on to 10-year yield, now bumping up against 4%. That's a big deal here, folks, because remember, everyone was so excited about cheap money, and now all of a sudden, interest rates are beginning to climb back up after that strong jobs data on Friday. Other things to go over, we have Apple getting downgraded. We'll look at that chart. Pfizer getting a activist investor on board. That chart actually had just broken out prior to that news, which tells you that someone in the chart knew something was going on. The chart gave us a heads up there as well. All right, let's get over to the big board and discuss a little bit about what's going on pre-market. So what we're seeing right here, guys, is that you have the market where it closed on Friday right here, right? And this is, you can see, this is 4 in the morning. We dipped. We've floated back up, but still net negative, right? So you can see the net negative nature of the market in the pre-market here going into the open. And again, we're just under 30 minutes from the open. Now, a lot of people would say, oh, it's probably tensions in the Middle East, but really no major escalation. We didn't see Israel strike back at Iran just yet, so that's probably not the key of why the markets are giving back some of Friday's gains. My thought process is the 10-year yield is heading that or kissing that 4% marker, right? So we were down very, very sharply on the 10-year yield, and now we've seen a massive move to the upside, retracing to the scene of the crime breakout. In fact, let's go right into that chart here. Let's take a look at what we have. So if we bring up the 10-year yield, take a look at this, guys. This is pretty impressive. Look at this. The 10-year yield is now above 4%. And when we look at the daily chart, you can see I drew this arrow last week saying that, listen, we broke out of this downsloping parallel channel right here. That told us there was more upside to go. And we actually could climb as high as 4.3% before we retrace to this trend line. And this, again, would be a shortable level should the 10-year get into that level. But remember, the markets continue to be addicted to low and cheap money. That's what everyone has always said. They've said, hey, listen, we need to get back to that point. We need the free money. We need the drugs, right? The junkie needs the drugs. And that, again, is now becoming more and more elusive, where it doesn't look like interest rates are going to get back down to those 2% or sub 2% level because the economy is just too strong. Now, going back to the economy, folks, let's be fair. It was a big jobs data on Friday number, but the question is, and this is something I'm sure a lot of you are thinking, is what's that going to be revised to in the coming months? Does 254,000 go down to 150? Does it go to 175? Does it go to 100? We just don't know, but time will tell. All right, so the 10-year yield's a big one here. Let's take a look at a key trade of mine. This is a trade. This is more of an institutional grade trade, and I want to step over and walk you guys through this. So this is something I always like to do. I like to think about what I call a pairs trade. And a pairs trade essentially is where you're going long one asset and you're going short the other asset. And one of the things I was discovering here is that on the top you have GE, right? GE Aerospace. Beautiful, just continued move up massively on the year. On the bottom, you have Boeing. Now, Boeing's had its fair share of trouble and probably will continue to have trouble. But the concept of this pairs trade is to think about going short something like this, which has incredible overbought factors to it. Like so many overbought factors, the valuation's getting stretched, all of these things, and then ultimately going long on Boeing, right? So you go long on Boeing, go short on GE Aerospace. Now the companies, while they don't do exactly the same thing, what we have seen, and you could see this in the chart, is that when you see a dip in Boeing, we see money flow moving over into GE Aerospace. So there is this little relationship where investors, when things aren't going for Boeing, they're saying, hey, listen, I need to be exposed to the aerospace sector. Therefore, let me pull the money out from from Boeing and put it into GE. The thought process is this, and this is why it's an intriguing pairs trade, is that at some point we probably see a reversion trade. You see a drop in this stock and a rally in Boeing, right? Drop in GE. That can make you money on both sides. So you're short this one, so you make money as it falls. You're long this one, and you make money as it rallies. Now, let's just say that doesn't happen. What if the markets just continue to go up? And let's say they just keep rallying and rallying and rallying. Well, at some point, this is going to go up because the market, a rising tide lifts all boats, and also this goes up. So if that situation arises, you essentially figure you cancel out this loss, which would be a short. You'd be short this, so you'd be underwater here, but then you'd be long this, which would cancel out that short. Vice versa. Let's say the market tanks, and in a market tanking environment, everything sells off generally. If this drops here and this drops, same thing. You protect yourself by being short one while long the other. They cancel each other out. So again, guys, I always try to bring things to you that maybe you don't think about. These are things that I spend lots of time analyzing on the charts. And again, it's not to say it's like the great trade that's going to make you 100x, right? I mean, that's honestly few and far between. But this is a type of trade that an institution would take, that an institution would analyze and say, hey, listen, we can figure out how much money to put here and here. We're protected on these types of situations, but in general, a reversion trade could make us good money. So interesting little tidbit on GE Aerospace and Boeing that I wanted to share with you. Now, a couple other charts here in motion. Take a look at the chart here. We have the Pfizer chart. Now, Pfizer got an activist investor, Starboard, came on board, and they basically bought $1 billion of the stock. But look at this trend line. You have your high pivot here to your high pivot right here. Look at how it broke out, retraced right to the scene of the crime, and now today it's trading just below $30, starting to rally on this activist investor. I love these type of setups, guys. When you have high quality names, high quality names that pay dividends, they make money, they're profitable, but they've been beaten down for such a long period of time, they're perfect opportunities to say, hey, listen, this could be a company that is due for an activist investor, and in this case, it got it today. So that was an interesting one as well. Now, another stock that's under pressure here, Apple got downgraded. You can see here on the pre-market chart, the stock has gotten downgraded. Now, it has floated off of the lows, but nonetheless, look at the daily chart here. Look at this trend line from this high to this high to this high. Notice how you closed above and then you reversed. This is what we call a fake out. It's where the confirmation signal that I teach is so important because you wouldn't get fooled thinking this was a breakout if you knew the confirmation signal. The next day, right back below, and then this is where we closed on Friday, and ultimately we're going to be trading down somewhere down here. Now, as a day trade, there might be a level somewhere around 220.60. That would be a gap fill, and then if it keeps falling, the lower end of the channel here, or the trend line, I should say, the wedge pattern trend line, that would be your key level there. All right, so that goes over those. I do want to flip over to the Chinese stocks. I have a level here that I am watching on Pinduoduo for a short here. Guys, I actually already started to short this one. So again, just to give you a heads up, I did inch in on this last night, actually. Believe it or not, some of your brokers out there allow you to trade as 8 o'clock on basically all night long. It's pretty wild stuff, folks. If you're looking to get involved and not sleep much, then this is a great way to do it. But in any case, take a look at this trend line up here, connect it right here, and we're opening higher today on Pinduoduo right into this range. Now, it's currently trading, last I checked, around 155. This level's just below 160 at around 159 to 160. I got the short off last night at 159 and change on Pinduoduo. It was trading that high in the overnight. And one of the reasons why the overnight is very risky, but you get a lot of retail kind of FOMOing in, and you can get some really wacky price points on various stocks in this situation. All right, what else am I shorting in the Chinese market that has gone absolutely nuts to the upside? Futu. Futu is one right here, so we can see, look at this rally on Futu. If we do a measurement here, take a look at this rally. So from the 13th of September just into Friday, it was up 125%. This morning, if we go to the pre-market data, it hit a high of 134 before fading, and it's still net positive on the day, trading around 130. Now, to me, when I look at this chart, listen, It's not to say that it can't eventually go higher, but these are the charts where at some point you get a reversion trade where something goes up far too fast and far too quickly. All right, something else, again, I do have a short on 𝗟𝘂𝘅. 𝗟𝘂𝘅, again, is the internet ETF. You can see it had a beautiful wedge pattern breakout here and has gone higher. The 39 level, that's really a great area. 39 to 40, I think getting a short off for a retrace is a great opportunity. And then lastly, this one's insane. It's kind of a short squeeze play, but take a look at this one. This is Tiger, or TIGR is the symbol, but it's Up FinTech Holdings. And it's only a $2 billion company, so it's getting squeezed. But look at this pre-market. It's trading up at $14.35. What's amazing about that, folks, is if we do a measurement from the low just on the 18th of the month, so we're talking 2 weeks ago, basically, you have to go all the way up. It's trading up 300%. Now, one of the things I've talked to you guys about on this is that, so number one, $2 billion companies can squeeze further, right? They can squeeze, they can. But at some point, you will get a massive pullback. And one of the kickers here is that the forward earnings on this stock is only around, I think, 30 cents, so 0.3. And so what you do is you say, okay, well, if that's the case, remember when I was pounding the table on China stocks and saying, guys, you got to be invested here, you got to play this. That was when they had PE ratios of 8. All right, 8 PEs. Now, if you take this and we're looking at where it currently is trading, you're talking about basically a 30 to 40 PE ratio balloon on this. And so in my thought process, there is additional risk of investing in China, so PE should be a little lower than the US, but something in the range of 15 would make more sense. That means a 50% pullback back to about $7 could be very logical in terms of a retrace. Now listen, remember, this type of stock, because it's a lower valuation market cap company, it could squeeze higher. But at some point, a little investment, even if it goes, right now it's trading up here, even if it goes up here or up here, at some point you do get the reversion trade, in my opinion, as these things have gotten way, way out of whack to the point of, and by the way, this is a great example of a swing trader versus a long-term investor. So a swing trader, I'm long a lot of these China stocks down here, take profits, they keep going. I say, oh, wow, they want to keep going, that's fine. I'll short it up here, make money on the retrace, then I'll flip it long again. And you essentially are just going, long, short, long, short, long, short. And a lot of times you'll find stocks that trade in a range like this, and a longer-term investor that bought right here, they're basically in the green, out of the green, in the money, out of the money, in the money, out of the money, while you're taking gain, 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 up and down, and you can make 5, 6, 7 times what a long-term investor can make, even just on one stock. Now, it's tricky. You have to know what you're doing. That's where the methodology I teaches comes in. But again, it is doable, and we do it, as you can see, if you're part of the memberships at verifiedinvesting.com. All right. A couple other things here, guys. We got to talk about oil. Oil is up today about 1.4%. The kicker on oil here is this, is that, a lot of people would look at oil and say, oh, it's got to be Middle East. I don't know about that. All right, we saw the Middle East run, and then nothing really major new happened. Now, it still could, but nothing new major happened over the weekend, but it's still up. So my thinking is that it's maybe 25% Middle East concerns, but also this hurricane that's barreling down on us here in Tampa. And again, we got we got some issues from Helene there, but now this is looking like it's coming right for us. And so on that note, just a heads up, it's very possible that I won't be able to do the game plan on, Wednesday. Well, probably Wednesday morning will be okay, but Thursday I may not be able to do the game plan, and trading the close Wednesday afternoon, potentially maybe even Thursday. So just a heads up, if that period isn't there, it's because we're hunkered down. We probably have no power here, and this storm, again, coming in as a Category 3, probably starting on Wednesday here. So we're going to stay safe, but again, if I can bring you guys the game plan, I'm always going to bring you guys the game plan. Okay, so oil again pushing up here. Look for it to potentially go as high as 80. That is the max upside I have. But again, overall, I continue to think that oil eventually trades sharply lower. Let's look at Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin, guys, remember on Friday where I was saying to you guys that Bitcoin was essentially going to have to make a decision? Here's Friday. It made the decision. Major pivot support held, popped, paused, and then continued up here. Now, For us in smart money crypto, we crushed it. We went long at this point. We went long. What do we have? Cardano, Avalanche, Link, you name it. We were going long at that level because it was technical support. You had to go long there. These altcoins had retraced into major support. Now I've taken a lot of those profits, and I'm even starting to look at a couple shorts out there as we just continue to swing trade and make money with members in that service. So pretty cool on that front. Speaking of which, guys, we're going to take a quick 30-second break because 𝗟𝘂𝘅𝗔𝗹𝗴𝚅 is awesome. And guys, I've gotten some of the feedback on the scanner, the scanner on TradingView, that again is something that tells you exactly when the sell signal triggers on a chart. Any time frame, it's $25 a month. I mean, basically, if you're someone that goes to Starbucks every day, just, don't go once a week and you'll pay for it. In any case, go to our website, verifiedinvesting.com, and you'll see it there under the AI tab to the drop down. And again, check it out. It is very, very cool. But let's take a quick 30-second break and thank 𝗟𝘂𝘅𝗔𝗹𝗴𝚅.
Have you considered enhancing your trading experience? We have an amazing tool for you. 𝗟𝘂𝘅𝗅𝗏 creates next-gen trading indicators to help the world understand the markets in a smarter way. They have the largest user profile on TradingView and are the only official Discord partner in the technical analysis space. 𝗟𝘂𝘅𝗅𝗏 Premium operates seamlessly with top platforms, such as TradingView and Discord, making it the perfect tool for every trader. Take your trading analysis to the next level with 𝗟𝘂𝘅𝗅𝗏. Please visit the description below and sign up for 𝗟𝘂𝘅𝗅𝗏 today.
All right, guys, we are back. Thanks for hanging with us here as we get into the chart on Bitcoin. Let's take a look at the chart. So what we do know is that the technical pivot line, the bullish-bearish pivot line right here, that did hold. We got the bounce. Now the question is, can the stock market continue to go up? We know the stock market's down today, and notice how Bitcoin is losing some of its gains and basically back to the flat line. All right, so now the thing is this. As long as we're above the pivot line, your upside potentially can be 68,000, but if you confirm below the pivot line, you're going down fast. So be very careful. Any sort of daily close with confirmation, that's a stop out immediately on Bitcoin because it could flush all the way down to the low 50,000 range. I'll quickly go over Ethereum as long as we got a little time today. Let's take a look at Ethereum. And what we have on Ethereum is very standard here. We notice we came right into technical support, taking this pivot low, connecting here to here to here. It hit, got a little bit of a bounce, but this is starting to look a little bit bearish, right? A little bit of a bear flag forming, and I'm still in the camp, and I know this, bulls don't want to hear this on Ethereum, but I still think we have one more dump in Ethereum that's going to take us down to the $2,000 level, and that will be where I start to load the boat on Ethereum. Next up, let's take a quick look at gold today and see what gold's doing. Gold is just sideways chopping. And I will give credit for gold. The fact that the DXY, if we bring up the DXY and go to the daily, look at the dollar. The run on the dollar is amazingly strong. That's super unusual for gold to not have had a bigger pullback. So this could be bullish consolidation starting to form. Let's keep our eye on it. CPI data comes out on Wednesday. That should be a major catalyst for either a pop or a drop on gold. So watch that very closely. But notice again, the trend line we are hovering here. If we go to our logarithmic scale, we flip to our monthly. For those of you that are newbies here watching, this is why I called this as resistance. It's a beautiful trend line, and we are right up into that level. Okay? So next up, let's quickly go and check out on silver. We'll move it back to our regular chart and see what we have. And if we look at silver here, bear with me as I type it in. There we go. Silver, again, folks, continues to be in a position where at some point I still think it pulls back a little bit, maybe back to the scene of the crime. But to do that, it's going to need a negative economic report. Like there has to be something out there that triggers a run from the industrial metals like silver. And granted, you could say it's store of safety metal too, and yes, it is partially, but it's becoming more and more an industrial metal on silver, right? Maybe that's the culprit of Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin and gold and Bitcoin maybe are the two stores of safety, and then it kind of pushes out silver. I'm sure a lot of people would disagree with that, but I'm just hypothesizing what potentially could happen. Either way, look for that $30 Pierce for a buying opportunity on silver. Lastly, guys, we looked at oil already, so let's go into natural gas. You guys know I was short this. Love the pullback on Friday. Great pullback. Actually put us in the money on all our positions on natural gas on the short side. Now we're getting a small bounce here. Really what you're looking for, if you're short with me, then we need a break of this 292, 293 level. level. That gets broken, now you're talking a bigger move to the downside. But right now, again, it's getting a small bounce today. Resistance remains around 319, 320 up here, but a beautiful little reversal day on natural gas. All right, guys. So listen, when all is said and done, we're watching the Middle East. We're watching this hurricane in the Gulf here heading our way, literally our way here. And then we're also going to pay attention to CPI on Wednesday as well as Friday earnings reports. Now, Friday is not big on tech. Next week we have Netflix. But Friday, JP Morgan, BlackRock, and Wells Fargo will report earnings, and that really starts earnings season. So remember, for those of you that have tuned in and you're all ready to tune in, you're like, okay, what are a lot of trading levels for the day? Once we're back in earnings season, there'll be a ton of opportunities for me to go over key major movers for the day on earnings and where are their buy and sell levels for us to trade throughout the day. All right, don't forget to check us out here. Again, I'm going to go to the Apex Live Day Trading Room. We're debuting some amazing new stuff in the Apex Live Day Trading Room, so check it out. Even a new price point, believe it or not. There's going to be a $250 option versus just the $400 option. I'm not sure if we're debuting that today or not, but the point is it is available coming soon because we understand 400 is a lot of money. Yes, people are making boatloads that are in that $400 subscription, but we understand maybe someone has less money. They want to start it smaller. We're okay with that. We're here to support each and every one of you. If you want to day trade and you want to understand and learn, we're here for you at Verified Investing. Have a good one, guys. Take care.